Well, good morning, fellas. Or, maybe whatever time you are deciding to watch this video. I just kind of wanted to show you guys a few things that I do, kind of preseason work and maybe with some trail cams. So this video that I'm kind of putting together and trying to get finished up with is me doing some preseason scouting on some properties. Properties that are easy accessible with a truck, and properties that I think have a higher density of coyote population. And throughout Ohio, there's all kinds of different terrains. You get the flat terrains, you get rolling hills, the populations, they kind of, the density gets a little bit greater, and then it kind of expands. So a couple of these properties are pretty good examples of what I want to be showing you guys, and then what I want to give as an example of things to be looking for, especially when you're out scouting preseason wise. And I think it would benefit everyone who watches this to see, why I'm doing what I'm doing and where I'm focusing on the certain spots that I'm focusing on. So stick around, stay tuned. I hope you guys really, really enjoy this. I hope you guys get a little bit of information. I try to give out as much information as I can, but if not, if you feel like there's questions that you need to ask, feel free to get a hold of me. Like it's really not a big deal. I have no issues replying to anything. So stick around, guys. I'll show you what's going on. All right, so we're out doing a little preseason work, having some fun, a jolly good time, and these are the spots that I look for. These good access roads. So, access road that comes up, crop change. We've got a drainage ditch coming down this way, and then you've got timber here on the left too. So these are pretty good little spots. I have pretty good luck here, and these spots can be all over the place. You just kind of have to get out and find them. Aerial maps are good, but having the time and the capability to get out and walk it and kind of see what's going on, that's going to benefit you more than sometimes an aerial map, unless you're familiar with the area. So got a few more of these places to check out and kind of work on. Okay, so here's another property, access road. There is livestock cattle on the right here, and they bury their cattle here. But if you can figure out where the spot is that they're burying it, you're gonna have a pretty good chance of finding where the coyotes are, or kind of where they're centralized, or where they might be centralized. So just a little ditch that cuts through. There's been multiples of scat on this road. There's the pasture field. He buries his cattle back here. And now, I'm not saying he probably has a high percentage of cattle that he buries, but they know it's the grocery store. They know that it's produced year in and year out. So here's a spot that I really like. It's just a couple tree lines, crop field, big intersection coming through. There's a ditch that is a drainage. It's just a, you know, high frequent, one of your typical spots that you'll see. I could drive all the way to that corner of that field up there and set, or to the corner over here and set, but why when I know they're all going to be coming to this spot eventually? So if you can find a way to get them there quicker, then that's kind of what you want to do. So just to kind of show you, I mean, as soon as I park the truck, tracks right here, right at this spot. So it's, you know, it's not we're not screeching concrete here, just trapping coyotes. All right, fellas, well, here's another spot for you. Like I said, access road, especially if you're gonna be trapping out of a truck. And now, don't get me wrong, I've trapped this place before, kind of like when I was first really getting into canine trapping. I was trapping every little corner and everything. And, you know, but I tell people now, you don't need to do that. You just need to find those big hubs. And, you know, there's one right here. So, got a big dirt pile mound where they pushed it up. Got a 4-way intersection, crop changes, got a ditch that's cutting through here with a big culvert over top of it. It works very well for me. You know, just my whole thing is I just try to keep growing, try to keep progressing it as a canine trapper. And you know, if you're wanting to catch canines and you're wanting to do it quickly and efficiently, I think doing this method would be beneficial for you. You know, it's like I always say, we're not putting up cell towers here. We're just trapping canines. So, all right, fellas. Man, those spots were pretty key. You know, pretty identical, pretty you know, textbook spots. Especially if you really start to look at them, you see all the different trails and paths and different, you know, kind of spokes coming to the hub. So I'm pretty excited for this next bit. It's going to be a trail cam, like a little trail cam action. I made a bait station, and on this particular property, I made a bait station at the center of the hub. So where all the spokes come together, I went out and I got some bait, and I just kept piling bait up at this spot, trying to, you know, bait them up. But so it's a bait station, but it kind of shows you the difference between maybe how a fox and a coyote differentiate or work a different a bait, kind of showing that, I guess, neophobic response that a lot of people talk about. And, you know, neophobic, it means being afraid of something that's new. So neo being new, phobic being a fear of. When you see this, you're going to see that in these first few videos, the fox, man, it really, I mean, it's right in there. It's right on the center of the screen is ideal for where my bait is at. So if you're looking at the center of the screen, you're seeing where the fox is, or the bait, I should say. You're seeing where the bait is at. And then the fox are just going right into it. So, and as you start to watch, you're going to see that the coyote, he kind of is a little standoffish. And then, you know, from what I can tell, there's been multiple coyotes visit this bait station. And you'll see that from just the appearance of them. But you also see how they stand back. One will squat to urinate, and, you know, they'll kind of skirt the perimeter of that bait station. And it's going to be kind of eye-opening to see that they don't just, you know, they don't always just dive right in. Now, and in that regard, I need to note that this is a new bait station. I mean, it's been just developed within the last 2-3 months. So since August, I've been putting bait out. And I have seen on other trail cam videos that I've have and that can produce, that with existing bait stations or existing compost piles or existing dead piles, whatever you want to give the nomenclature to, they are right in on them, because that has been an existing structure for years and years, and essentially it's been the grocery store. I always say, you know, a coyote is not waking up and just going to a corner post or going to a corner of a field because he wants to. A coyote's waking up and he's thinking about a handful of things: territory, sex, whether that's, you know, multiplying in numbers. He's thinking about food, he's thinking about water, things for survival, things to keep their livelihood, to keep their population growing, to keep it thriving. So you're going to see a lot of things in these videos. There's no trap or anything involved. It's just bait. So I'm just baiting them up right now and pretty much pulling them in to be conditioned to one ideal spot. And that's something that a lot of people do and a lot of people don't talk about. They bait them up, they go out there, they find these key locations and they'll bait them up. Or they'll find the compost piles, they'll find the dead piles, and they'll set those. And like I said, if you ever have any questions or any comments or maybe any information you want to give to me, just let me know, put it down below. Wow. So what'd you think? That was pretty informational. I know it's only, you know, a few minutes of just clips of a couple fox and coyotes working it, but it's pretty informational if you take a look at it. You know, the fox, they're not afraid to just dive right in, as opposed to maybe a coyote standing a little bit back and being a little bit neophobic at the beginning, but then eventually they start to come in, they're urinating on the location and kind of making it their own. So I love studying, and I love trying to understand the fur bearer that I'm trapping, or the fur bearer that I'm going after. And for me, it's coyotes. So, you know, if you guys can get anything from this, I hope it's just that don't always just think, or don't always just assume that every little location that you're going to be going after is they're going to be diving right in. They're not hard to trap, but you have to get them when they're susceptible. And I think with good baits, if you use lures or urine, good urine, high quality urine, that's going to give you an advantage, as well as having your top quality traps and all products that are, you know, high end. So don't skimp on certain things and then splurge on others. I try to, you know, pound that message home and make everyone know that you can get by, and a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, but to be successful and to drop your percentages on your losses, you want to have the best of the best, and I stand by that completely. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next video, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Take care, guys.